You're looking at Jim Leonard, first referee for a confrontation. George Carey is second up. Center court, Brian Steffes. Luyties and Louis. As Miami is ready. Louis will serve first. Louis only has to win 1 game to 15. Brian Steffes have to win a game to 15 and 1-7 in a double final. Here we go. Start very important, especially for Kent Steffes. Right off the bat, Karch sets it back once again. Karch is really having a lot of trouble setting into the wind so far today.
Well, but it's very smart for any of these teams to serve the player nearest the water. You got 20-knot winds blowing off the Atlantic, and that's the difficulty, setting the ball into that wind. Serve the player nearest the water.
Here's Brian Lewis. Kent with a dig, and they can't get it back over. Now the player nearest the water, Brian Lewis for his team, and Kent Steffes for his team. As the wind continues to pound inside. Now Ricky Luyties in red will serve. Luyties 32 years old, and he'll block. We got almost the same uniform on, Paul. Luyties and Steffes. Red tank, black trunks for Luyties. And that time Kent Steffes is wearing the exact same thing on the other side. He's at the net. No score. Start of our championship final. Beautiful play, and Lewis pounds it off Kent Steffes.
Ricky Luyties doesn't overreact, doesn't panic. The ball's passed into the net. The first thing he does, get to a knee, get right below the ball. No problem if you get low enough.
There's a perfect set by Karch, and Kent dinks it into the bottom of the net. So Kent finally got a good set. He said, hey, I better make a good shot on this one.
I told you in the semifinals we were talking about Karch setting the ball so far off the net. Kent having lots of practice. This one was nectar and just buried into the bottom of the net.
Kent didn't use his legs on that play. He was not jumping. Let's see what he does here. Lewis with a dig. And on one to Karch. So Karch still has spring in his legs. Quite honestly, Steffes looks a little dead-legged right now.
Got served an awful lot. A lot of pressure points for Kent Steffes towards the end of that semifinal. Come from behind victory over Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson. But he can work himself into this match.
Exactly right. Play yourself into the match until you have your adrenaline going, until you're pumped up. I think Karch and Kent need to get off to a good start, however, to have a chance.
Well, they can get warmed up here. I mean, Steffes just needs to get his metabolism warmed up slowly and not have to exert tremendously early on. Another good set, siding out pretty well.
And Steffes puts it away. One thing that will help Brian Steffes in terms, if Louis and Luyties think Steffes is tired, they'll ease up a little on their serves. Of course, Brian Steffes should be more tired. This is their 7th game of the day. Luyties and Lewis, only 3 on the products of double elimination. And Louis goes right out of bounds. So a point for the Kings, tying it up at 1.
Unforced error. And Ricky Luyties and Brian Lewis, it's a kind of a turnabout. It's a difficult situation for them in that everybody knows they're supposed to win. Even though Brian Steffes are heavily favored, they're in the driver's seat and they're supposed to win this match. That's a lot of pressure for them.
Especially because they have never won together. 2-1 Brian Steffes.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Karch block an awful lot at the beginning of this match, but Steffes takes one here early against Brian Lewis going cross court.
You think you exert more energy blocking than you do chasing?
Well, I just don't want Kent Steffes to, well, they never really do run up, but I think you just save a few of those jumps from Kent Steffes if you possibly can early in the match until he says he's feeling all right. It looked pretty good on that stuff.
Karch to serve. Brian Lewis, white tank top and a white hat backwards. Hooked up. Karch keeps it in play. That's legal off the block.
That's bad pass.
And it hit the antenna, and Karch and Kent get it. One thing about Karch and Kent, they're used to the wind gusts at the moment because they've been playing since
the sun came
this
up.
morning.
8 o'clock, thank you, all day long. And Ricky Luyties and Brian Lewis finished their match earlier in the day hours and hours ago. almost 5 hours ago, and the weather conditions have changed a lot since that time. And they've come out looking a little bit tight and a little bit unused to the conditions.
Karch to serve, his team leading 3-1.
Karch is jumping. Missed that one, but he really looks like he has his legs.
Brian Lewis, 26 years old, been a pro for 4 years. He won $112,000 last year, $306,000 in his career. Got a late start, 2 open wins in his career. We'll detail those in a moment for you.
Nobody.
Steffes, and Steffes looking pretty good off the net.
And not bad lift there. Conserving some energy, just walking back to serve, really pacing himself.
Reserving on the score.
And we know certainly he ate enough last night. Saw him at dinner last night.
Absolutely.
He ate enough for about a week because he knew it was going to be a busy day.
Little spin serve to Lewis.
Come on, Kent.
Karch has it up on 2. Lewis hits it again, and Steffes had the dig, and Karch can't go. So Karch showing a little fatigue there. Normally would have chased that down, could not.
Well, watch what happens though. Steffes digs this ball. Here's the first play by Kurai. Lewis going to go ahead and just hit it right away. Kent digs the ball, but look where the wind blows it. It just blows it farther and farther away from Karch than it was originally dug.
Steffes, Ricky Luyties. And Lewis gets a break and taps to the top and gets a point. So Brian Lewis, good shot. 7:29 to go. 3-2, Karch and Kent. Other finishers at the Miller Lite Miami Beach Open. Akatubby and Frohoff. Akatubby is hurt. He injured his groin. He may be out for the Cuervo. Frohoff also injured. Tanner Verbalovich, Hanneman, and Unger, a good placing for them. Jantz, Timmons, Bouillon, Powers in 7th. Friedrichsen and Leif Hansen played very well, got a 5th, along with Eric Fenoy, Moana, and Tim Hovland. Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh in 4th. And Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos in 3rd.
And Gino and Loyola with the other 9th place finish, and that they have not been playing all that well lately. They had a good finish in Fort Myers, but have yet to be a factor in the finals.
Ricky Luyties with the serve. 3-2. Kurai, Steffes have the lead. And Karch beans it. So Kurai will have it. Won a tournament with Ricky Luyties. It was Luyties' first back in 1988. The 1988 Manhattan Open. And Karch with 80 professional wins now. 3rd on the all-time list to Smith and Stoklos. And Karch guides it down the line out of bounds. Now, Brian Lewis is coming up. He has some of the funkiest spins and the funkiest jump serves and the most difficult jump serves to receive. Spinning low and hitting hard.
Yeah, add to that, he hits it as hard as anybody.
Karch gently tapping it inside. If you're wondering, Karch and Ricky Luyties know each other very well. Played 4 years at UCLA, played on the USA national team, played in beach tournaments together, played against each other. It's always a good confrontation. Karch hitting and Ricky trying to block him as that serve goes out of bounds.
Spend some energy jump serving, get no results whatsoever by serving the ball out of bounds. You want to serve tough, particularly in these competitions. See part of the resume of Ricky Luyties that you just talked about, Chris. Yeah, fabulous career.
And gently goes Kent Steffes. So Steffes getting a kill. We should tell you that today Bausch & Lomb will give one of these players, as if they need it, $500 more for being the Kill Award winner. And most kills in the championship matches.
And you always ask the winner, do you really want that $500? I'll take it.
Yeah, 1 year, I think Kent Steffes won about 10 of them. Okay, it was $5 grand.
Yeah.
You take it in a hurry. Put some more new drapes in your new house.
That's why you didn't get it.
Kill Award, player of the most kills, final match. Bausch & Lomb. Good company. Good sponsor of volleyball. As Lewis hammers, Karch has it. And it's out of bounds. So Brian Lewis warming it up and tying it up at 3.
There's the service winner there. And Brian Lewis. I remember when I first really noticed Brian Lewis 3 or 4 years ago, it was at Hermosa, and he was just bombing jump serves. Everybody was concerned about it, and then he got to get better and better partners. And this is what got him started, the ability to jump serve.
And ace!
He's got good hands, and he can bomb the ball.
4-3, Lewis and Luyties have the lead.
And up the husband and wife area once again. Kurai and Steffes have had a lot of practice.
A lot of hubby and wives today. They're going to have to go to divorce court and figure that out.
Timeout taken by the team.
We're taking a short break. Timeout is called. Lewis and Luyties by 1.
Breaking the action.
Barry, next time we get a weekend off, it sounds like he had a better time than most of those other guys. Our player dig segment here on Prime. Kent Steffes taps one down, and suddenly Kurai and Steffes are back within 1.
Well, I'll tell you, if they can just survive and side out against Brian Lewis, they'll obviously stay in this match. His aces, the difference so far in service winners. Kurai and Steffes on the good side.
Do you think so? Yeah. All the points coming from this lone corner as Karch chops one badly into the net. And Ricky Luyties will serve it up. Ricky has 6 career Open wins. He won his first with Karch, as we told you. Then he won 3 with Adam Johnson in 1991, including the U.S. Championship. And then got a win also in 91 with Mike Dodd. And then his most recent win over a year ago in 1992, Brent Frohoff, the last leg of the Triple Crown.
Mike over the block of Ricky Luyties by Kent Steffes.
That was interesting. We saw that Kurai and Steffes have 5 service errors, and in their column, no aces. Brian Lewis, a couple of aces, a couple of service winners, but have yet to miss one. So Kurai and Steffes expending some energy, but yet to get really good results from the service line. Maybe till now.
6-5. Could be a point coming up right here. Steffes on the left, where Sunderland likes him. And he puts it away. What do you like about Steffes on the left?
I've said it before. I just think the way that he jumps and approaches the ball, his body mechanics, and his natural arm swing, Chris, is inside out, screwball style, away from his body. A very natural swing for a left-sider. On the right side, he has a more difficult time naturally hitting the ball across his body.
20-second timeout is taken, and you're looking at the newest thing in Pro Beach Volleyball. Sponsor tattoos. Brian Lewis sponsored by Kern's Juices. I wonder if that's because his hands are nectar. And you look at Ricky Luyties, he's a red sand man. Pretty soon these guys are going to have stuff all over their bodies, don't you think, Paul?
Well, at least the parts that can be seen.
Well, even so, if they give you the dough, you gotta go.
Yeah, but I think it's a good idea. I like it. I like it.
Instead of wearing like a patch or a wristband or a headband, just put it on your body.
Hey, tattoos are happening these days. Everybody's got tattoos, so why not?
Steffes has a dig. Karch going for it. Shot. Nice shot by Lewis, going on 2.
Lewis and Louie taking advantage of the defensive front.
If you ever got a tattoo, Paul, what would you put on yourself?
Transition and Louie.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I'd probably put something from the Olympics in '84. I'd probably put the Olympic rings in '84, and then Mom.
Okay. All right, that's American. Steffes, did he get a touch? Yes, he did. So Steffes and Kurai, Lewis and Luyties tied up 6-6. A reminder that Steffes and Kurai have to win this game and another one to 7. Brian Lewis right there, and his partner Ricky Luyties only have to win the game to 15. Double final, it's called. Result of double elimination. Karch pokes it up. Steffes punches it up. Karch flippers it into the net.
Great diving effort that time by the team of Kurai and Steffes.
They are not going away. This is a team that's playing their 7th match of the day. The opposition, Brian Lewis and Ricky Luyties, playing only their 3rd. It's not an unfair format. Lewis and Luyties earned that right by going through the tournament to this point undefeated. Kurai and Steffes have had to work their way back through the losers bracket.
Kurai and Steffes, kings of the beach, trying to come all the way back from 13th place. Steffes chopping inside. Steffes looks very relaxed now, doesn't he, Paul? He looks like, hey, I'll just tap it around and see what happens.
Well, and he's got a partner who's making some big plays and who looks fresher. If Kurai can score some from the service line, and if Steffes can side out, which it appears he's in a pretty good rhythm to do, then he'll be all right. But he's got to eliminate his serving problems. He served a couple of balls weakly out of bounds now. Maybe time to gas the jumper. Just serve the good floater, move somebody around, move Brian Lewis deep, since he's the player closest to the water in this situation, play some good defense.
Ricky Luyties and Brian Lewis have not done very well this year. They've gotten a 5th and 2 7ths so far. By far their best performance. Steffes. And Steffes cranks it.
And I asked Ricky Luyties, I said, look, what's the biggest difference this week? You know, obviously you're not doing as well. And he said, well, I'm really siding out well. And I said, but now why are you siding out well? He said, well, Brian Lewis has really been setting me well. I'm playing better. I'm setting him better. And then he said, you know, we talked about splitting up.
Louis going on 2.
They were going to stay together through this tournament, and then the Cuervo, where the top 4 seeds on the Pro Tour get an automatic seeding into the Cuervo. And with this finish here, they'll be one of those top 4 seeds. But they had talked during the week possibly about going to other partners.
So Brian Lewis will serve. And into the net. You remember Brian Lewis at the start of the year was set to play with Tim Hovland, and it looked like Ricky Luyties was going to play with Randy Stoklos. Try to tell this story in a couple of points on how Ricky Luyties and Brian Lewis got together. Steffes with the serve, and he serves it out of bounds. Ricky Luyties thought he was going to play with Stoklos. He called Randy at Christmas time, left a message on his machine, didn't get a call back. Called him 1st of January, left it on the machine, didn't get a call back. Finally, he heard a rumor that Stoklos was playing with Johnson. Called him up, left a message, didn't get a call back. Finally, a week after that, he gets a call from Randy Stoklos' brother, Curtis Stoklos. And Curtis Stoklos says to Randy, I don't think my brother is playing with you. He's in Australia. So Ricky said he immediately went and called Brian Lewis.
Absolutely.
Lewis dumped Hovland. Hovland went to Panoy Moana. And the rest is AVP history. Good block by Kent Steffes.
On the hit by Brian Lewis.
The machinations of changing partners, and oh, my answering machine wasn't working.
Let me
reaching high here by Kent Steffes.
Let me just specify, because I know Stoklos watches these programs, and I don't want to give him the wrong idea. This is what Ricky Luyties told me that happened. That's Ricky Luyties' part of the story, so we'll have to get it from Randy Stoklos. Karch serves up the service winner, and suddenly the Kings of the Beach looking good.
Kent Steffes has survived, been siding out, not serving worth a darn, but Karch Kirai right now doing just about everything else. Serving, Kent blocking pretty well of late. He's got to clean up his serving game.
Timeout on the sand. Kirai and Steffes lead it 8-6. Don't go away. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Miller Lite Miami Open. Kirai and Steffes are ahead of Ricky Luyties and Brian Lewis. Let's take one more look at this play. Spike, was it in or out? You make the call.
Hey, the ball.
Let's see that ball go back and forth once or two. Let's look.
That ball,
it's out.
That ball's out by a couple of inches. The ball does not have to land in the court to be in.
True.
In beach volleyball if it grazes the line on the way by. But the ball mark that the linesman was pointing to and outlining was different than the one that exploded in the sand. There
Brian Steffes not serving well. 8-7 is our score. Now Brian Lewis back on his good side.
Dangerous man at the service line in a big break. See, Brian, if I'm Brian Lewis, you just got to keep bombing him away.
Yeah.
He's not that effective, I don't think, when you take it off, take the real heat off the serve, particularly against Kirai and Steffes.
Steffes working on Lewis. Ricky Luyties a pretty good setter as well.
Solid hands, gets in good position early, hands high to the target, and again uses his legs. You got to get under the ball, get in good foot position first. You see Ricky Luyties looking at the competition. Where is Kent Steffes defensively? And he's certainly not over there.
Going to Karch. And Karch slicing inside. And Luyties going, oh my gosh, I should have had it.
I've seen that shot 400,000 times. But Karch hits it from such a high point, and he's just parallel to you, and he just slices it off underneath your pits.
Luyties. Karch pops it back over. But that ball is just popping out of Brian Lewis's hand. Perfect.
Just up to a spot.
Yeah, nectar.
Up to a spot, just staying in the hitting area.
Keep your rags. Brian Lewis back to serve.
The receive of Kirai Steffes. They lead by 1. And Lewis is out of bounds. Trying to pop it into that wind. The wind still blowing ferociously off the water here in Miami Beach. The water is crystal clear blue, but the flags, look at how it is coming in and getting stronger, it feels like. Luyties tapping down the line.
Another perfect set. Challenge for Ricky Luyties. I'll tell you, just pass the ball. Just survive, pass the ball. Let your partner, Brian Lewis, score with his jumper. If I can block a few balls, we're in good shape.
Luyties will serve. And he spins the ace down the line. Nicely done.
Brian Lewis established the husband and wife up the middle. Ryan Steffes made the adjustment, but nobody gets to this one. Look at this, just chopping it right around you, right down the line.
And Brian Lewis going to stay up and block. We saw him do a little of this earlier. Oh, and he missed it. Oh, my gosh.
Was all over it, just got tangled up backpedaling.
He fell down on the easiest play he'll ever have.
His leg got caught underneath.
Yeah.
That should have been an easy score.
Yeah, for a great surfer with tremendous balance, not his finest moment.
I don't think he's a goofy footer.
It's 8-8. Luyties thunders it. Ricky Luyties has a lot of fans everywhere, Paul.
Luyties is passing so well, and Brian Lewis just setting to perfection. You got to think maybe Ryan Steffes take a look at going to Brian Lewis, even though in this configuration he's away from the water.
Lewis with the serve, and he whacks his jumper out of bounds. So the serving of Lewis not quite as effective here in the mid part of the game, as Steffes will serve it up. Spent his first college year at Stanford, then transferred over to UCLA, and he's out of bounds there.
Steffes has missed 4 or 5, and he's not hitting the jump serve really hard enough to gain anything with it anyway. He's got to eliminate the errors.
8-8 in our championship final. Steffes thumps it through.
Steffes and Curie have been out, been competing today with little rest time in between now for the better part of 8 hours. At the time it takes to do the Ironman.
Lewis got it. You think it's hard for fans to relate how difficult it is to play for 8 hours?
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. Because most people would play for an hour or 2 or whatever it was. They go, hey, it's hot. We're out of here. They've never felt the fatigue that these players feel right now. They've never pushed themselves that hard.
Comes Karch. And Luyties has it up. Chance for a point. Big one here. Not yet. Steffes is there. And the cut wide open.
Steffes looking okay. That was a good recovery defensively. Really had to use leg strength to drive to that ball and got there in time to save the side out. Didn't really have to go too far now that we get a second look at it, but did spring out and made the play. I don't think he should be jump serving here, Chris. What do you think? I think he should stay down. He's missed 5 now overall. Probably serve an ace.
Got it down the middle. Kind of rolled it in there. Come on, come on. He's got it up. Can he put it away in transition? Steffes. Yeah. I think he's still got enough energy left, Paul. He's one of the most finely conditioned players on tour. Weights, jumping, sprints, the whole works for Steffes.
And it also is a question of mental toughness. Yeah. How tough are you? Are you a Tim Hovland? Are you a Mike Dodd, St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, Ron Von Hagen? All the great names through the history of the sport could grind their way back through the losers bracket.
Curie and Steffes pacing themselves, and they have a 1-point lead at the moment.
Okay, guys, baseball or bass fishing?
It is officially open. It opened with the New York Indoor. Curie and Steffes won that. Boca Raton, Curie Steffes. But then in Fort Myers, Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh really asserted themselves, Paul.
The nemesis of Curie and Steffes in Boca Raton. They were able to come back. That is Curie and Steffes from a big deficit, but not the next week. Mike and Mike playing extremely well. Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos, you know, are a very good team. They lost by a total of 4 points in 3 tournaments. Lost to Dodd and Whitmarsh on time by 1. Lost to Dodd and Whitmarsh in the semifinals by 1. That was in the single elimination format. And lost in the finals in Madison Square Garden by a couple.
So here's Brian Lewis. Karch and Kent starting to serve Lewis now. Karch dug it up. Steffes throws it up. Ball came out just a little shaky there. Steffes thought he had it.
Yeah, it was a good call. I thought that he was going to take another step back and really bump the ball hard up into the wind, but decided to make the aggressive play. Great dig by Curie.
Ricky Luyties, as you look at the end of the dig and the toss by Steffes. Difficult to see a throw in slow motion. It's almost better to watch it fast motion. It's very difficult to pick up. It doesn't look like anything's wrong normally.
The ball comes out. It's just a very subtle 1-2. You contact it with, you double contact the ball. It comes out with a lot of spin. Really, that was an easy one to call.
Last year's MVP, Karch Karai serving. Still got some mustard on his serve. Lewis down the line. Steffes with a dig. Can he put it away in transition?
Close enough.
Luyties digs him back. Pretty good set. Steffes again. Can he get up and put this one away? Yes!
Boy, Steffes is really digging in. This is a gutty performance. First dig by Ricky Luyties, and Brian was thinking right now, just get it close enough. I like it. I like the feel of it. And Luyties bombs the ball, but Steffes makes the good dig, and then excellent set in transition by Karai.
That was a fabulous dig by Steffes.
Yeah.
He was on his feet, and Luyties hit it low down the middle, and Steffes still got it up. 20-second timeout. Karch waiting for Luyties and Lewis. On the all-time list, St. John Smith, Randy Stokos, Karch Karai, the legendary Ron Von Hagen. Mike Dodd one behind Von Hagen. Von Hagen says, gosh, I hope he doesn't win anymore. Tim Hovland and Kent Steffes coming up fast. We saw St. John Smith this weekend and had a chance to chat with him. For all you St. John Smith fans, we'll give you that information in a second.
Come on.
Karch with a dig. Steffes has to shovel it over. Let's talk about St. John Smith for a second. He has been out. He has had a knee injury. Pro Beach Volleyball's all-time winningest player. He says he may be back in a month.
A month. I talked to him here. He had knee surgery during the offseason about 5 months ago. And then he had a mountain bike accident and injured himself again. He said the bike was going one way, I went the other way, and had to have some more surgery. And he said, be about another month, and I should be back out playing.
Brian Lewis going to take off the shirt. Now it's just Louis' skin and tattoo. 12-9 in a game to 15. As Louis getting a little sweat on his tattoo. He's getting a workout now. Oh, it's very hot and humid in Florida.
Tough
ace
serve
for Steffes.
Steffes has 5 service errors, now his first ace. And not listening to me about staying down and serving the floater, because this one just a rope down the line.
That is exactly where Ricky Luyties got him early in this game. Wow. So Karai and Steffes, they may be tired, but with under 2 minutes to go, they are in command in the first final. A Miami Open double final, 6-6. Chris Marlowe, Paul, Sunderland, Karai, Steffes, Lewis, and Luyties. The game is to 7. Next point wins.
All right, Miami, let's get up and let's get rowdy.
Ken Steffes and Karch Karai coming back. Lewis and Luyties trying to hang on. Crowd is up. Steffes will serve.
Let's get it on.
Might be one side out for Lewis and Luyties if they can serve into the wind. This will be championship point number 1 for Steffes Karai. Steffes hit it out.
Should have never hit the ball. Bad toss. It blew away from him. He should have just let it drop. Never had a good swing at it.
And now, maybe the most dangerous server in all of Pro Beach Volleyball, Brian Lewis.
Rally cap formation.
Ready to tee it up. Championship point for his team. Out of bounds. So 2 jump serve outies. Steffes will go to the net, and Karai will serve. 6-6, game to 7. Next point wins.
Just keeping it in.
Little lollipop. Lewis. Steffes blocked him. It's over.
That's an unbelievable performance. Unbelievable trek. Back from 13th place. Their 10th game of the tournament.
Ricky Luyties.
7th of the day. That is unbelievable. Everybody said that Ken Steffes was out of gas, and now they take home first place over a team that was playing so well throughout the course of the tournament.
A very disappointing end for Brian Lewis, but for Kent Steffes and Karch Karai, showing they are indeed the kings of the beaches. They come back all the way. A fitness test And for Luyties and Louis, wow, one that got away. All right, we're going to try to get Karchin Kent for you. Stay with us. Karai serving Steffes in red at the net. For the tournament, the block, and that was it. The Miller Lite play of the game. Karai and Steffes, the champions here in Miami Beach. So Karchin can't do it. How tired are the Kings of the Beach? Let's go down to Sunday and find out. Paul?
Well, if you think it's been a long couple of days, just ask Pigpen number 1 and Pigpen number 2. But in all seriousness, that is a long trek, an unbelievable performance. Where does that one rank? I mean, really a great job coming back through the losers bracket.
It was one of the top wins I think I've ever had. I mean, we've come from that position before and won, but never in this heat and never against the quality players we face today. And I just want to say, everyone who likes that single elimination, forget it. 7-6 in the double final. What more excitement can you get?
Not much more. Let's talk briefly about the game to 7. You get to 6-all. Brian Lewis goes back to serve. He misses his. What was your thought on championship point?
Well, we wanted to rip one too. Kent missed one, and then Brian missed one. And then Kent showed me he wanted to do something strategically, so I let up on my serve because there had been 2 misses in a row. We wanted to have a chance at tournament point.
And you got it. We got to keep this short because you guys played all day and all night. Congratulations to you both. A great win for Karai and Steffes in South Miami. Back to you, Chris.
Karai and Steffes wanted to get a workout. They did. 9 matches, a final and a double final. They win 7-6.